All right, guys, so now we're going to add the hamburger menu or the icon and then the actual mobile menu. The menu itself, or I should say, not the menu, but the icon or the button, that's probably the best word for it, that's going to be the same as it was in the last project. So I'm going to actually just paste in that HTML, just go over it real quick. So it's a button, we have an ID of menu button, there's a class of block, and then we have LG hidden because basically it's just display block on small screens, and then on large it's going to be hidden because then we have the, the regular menu. Then we just have these spans here, so we do have to add some custom CSS. If I save this, we're still not going to see anything because this doesn't actually show any content. So now let's go into our input CSS, and this is all the same CSS that we had before in the last project. So I'll just paste that in as well. Just quickly go over it. So the hamburger itself, cursor pointer, it's going to be 24 by 24. We have a transition on it. It's position relative because all of these top, middle, bottom spans are positioned absolute within it. Width 24, each one is 3 pixels high. So we basically have these 3 lines, and then we move the middle one down 7 pixels and the bottom one down 14. That way we have 3 lines. And then if there's a class of open on the on the button here, then it's going to turn to an X because of these rotates, these transform rotates here. All right, the middle one is display none, and then the top and bottom will cross like an X when this class of open is applied. So let's save. Okay, and now if I manually add a class of open onto this, watch what happens to the menu. It turns to an X. All right, now the actual menu that we want to display, we're going to go ahead and add that now. So let's come down here and let's get rid of the to-dos first of all. And this is going to have an ID of menu. And then for classes, we want this to be absolute. We want it to be hidden by default. Padding, let's say P6, rounded, LG. Background is going to be dark violet. And it's going to be positioned left 6, right 6, and top dash 20, and we'll give it a Z index of 100. I think Z100 is a class. We'll see, but it has to be on top of everything else. All right, now inside here we'll have a flexbox going around all the items. So let's say flex dash call, so they're always going to be vertical, and then items dash center, justify dash center. We want the width to be 100% of its container. Space between the items we'll do 6. Font bold, and text white, and we'll do rounded small. Okay, so now in here we're going to have our A tags, and these are we're going to have width full, so 100% of that container, and then also text dash center. So this one will be features. So features, let's copy, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, because we also want the login and sign up. All right, so the second one here is going to be pricing. This one is going to be resources. And then this one here, this is going to be login, but we want this to be pushed down a little bit. So let's add a class after with full. Let's say padding top 6. And let's also do border top, and then border dash gray dash 400. All right, and then also for the sign up, this is going to be sign up. We want kind of the same effect where it has that button style. So let's add to it py-3, And what else? Text center, and then let's say rounded dash full, and the background will be cyan. All right, so let's save that. Now it's not going to show by default. We're going to need to add some JavaScript onto that to actually show this, because instead of being hidden, it needs to be flex. So let's just add flex manually just to see what it looks like. Good. Put it back to hidden. Now we'll go add our JavaScript. Okay, so let's see. We're going to bring in. Let's go up here and let's bring in the button. So document.getElement by ID, and that has the ID of menu BTN. That's the hamburger button. And then for the menu, let's say const menu document.getElement by ID, and that has the ID of menu. So we're bringing those in. Now we're going to add an event listener, just like we have a form event listener. Except this one, we're going to put it on the button, and we want to add the event listener of click, or for a click event, and then we're going to call nav toggle. Okay, so now let's come down here. Actually, we'll put this one at the top. Toggle mobile menu. So function nav toggle. And we're simply going to take the button and class list dot toggle. So we're going to toggle the class of open onto the button. All right, then we want to take the nav, or the menu, and we want to toggle the class of flex. And we also want to take the menu and toggle the class of hidden. All right, so it starts off as hidden, and then it will toggle flex to show and hidden to be gone. We click it again, it'll cause flex to go away and hidden to display. All right, so let's try it out. There we go. So I think that looks cool. We have the effect where it turns into an X, and then I think this looks pretty good as well. And that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Once you get more familiar with JavaScript, or even a server-side language like PHP or Python, if you want to try to figure this out to actually make this work and put a link in and have this show up and give you these bit.ly or short links or whatever, because there's libraries that you can use to do that stuff, then I would encourage you to do that. That's obviously beyond the scope of this course, but it is recommended that you advance and you try new things. So that's it. Let's get into the next project.